The UTMB is the most prestigious trail running race in the world, and now it has gone truly global. Over the past year, 3 new races bearing the UTMB label have been created in Oman, China and Argentina. This is the story of how UTMB International is taking trail running to the 4 corners of the earth. Strap yourselves in for an unforgettable adventure. Our first stop is the Sultanate of Oman and its remarkable Arabian landscapes. On November the 30th, runners gathered in Birkat Al Moors for the inaugural edition of the Oman by UTMB event. A total of 415 runners from 57 countries came along to take part in this historic race. They were unable to resist the temptation of tackling the Sultanate's mountainous terrain. Oman by UTMB would later be hailed by National Geographic as the world's toughest adventure race, and its participants were certainly given a fitting send-off.
Allez la France! Lots of French runners here as well, and the whole UTMB family are here with us from Chamonix.
The runners being put through their paces by the event organisers Oman Sail, with 137 kilometres of technically challenging trails through ancient villages. A perfect blend of natural beauty, cultural history and physical effort. One of the major attractions of the race was a tough section of exposed rock face on the way up to the Hotel Alila Jebel Akhdar. For the first time in a UTMB event, the runners were equipped with cables and helmets to help them through the pass. Men's leaders Jason Schlab and Diego Passos coming along very nicely. Schlab coming through slightly quicker, but the American stuck around to wait for his friend Passos. The Swiss runner, sporting his traditional bow tie, wasn't too far behind. This was just one of the difficulties facing the runners, who also climbed above 2,000 metres to scale Jebel Akhdar, the Green Mountain. The scenery here in Oman is truly breathtaking. This is the women's leader, Anna Marie Watson. The former British Army captain would go on to win the women's race by some 49 minutes from Hungary's Ildikó Wermese. Meredith Edwards, Schlab's partner, homing in on the podium. Passos and Schlab continuing to forge on together at the front of the men's race. The elite pair expertly navigating the steep paths and ridges as they closed in on the finish line. First up though was a trip through the spectacular mountain village of Misfat Al Abriyin. The leading duo crossing the line together after 20 hours, 45 minutes and 37 seconds.
And you just crossed the line with one of your best friends. You've been together all the way, and you just
I'm also with
crossed the line
Diego
arm in arm.
Pavos here.
Just describe that
he's
to me.
tired, he's exhausted.
Well, two things. It was an absolute privilege and honor to do that, and it was also one of the most challenging races I've ever had. We pushed each other from the very first kilometer to the finish.
Meredith started at 7:30 last night. And here she comes! Meredith Edwards from the United States of America, third place in the Oman UTMB 2018, the very first edition. Meredith Edwards from the United States of America.
At the heart of the UTMB brand is of course the Ultra Trail du Mont Blanc itself. It's 170 kilometres around Western Europe's highest peak with 10,000 metres of vertical gain. No ultra runner's CV is complete without taking part in the world's most famous race. In this 17th edition, Xavier Thévenard was looking to become the first man to win the UTMB 4 times, but the French favourite was up against a strong field, including Pau Capel, winner of the Ultra Trail World Tour in 2018. The start of the UTMB in Chamonix is one of the standout moments in the trail running calendar.
Suerte a todos y a disfrutar. Molta sort a tots. Bil Taufik. Viel Glück und viel Spaß. Bocca al lupo ragazzi.
Capel made a strong start, moving into the lead in the very first kilometres of the race. An elite chase group just up the road containing US trio Tim Tollefson, Hayden Hawkes and Zach Miller, all dreaming of becoming the first American man to conquer the UTMB. China's Miao Yao going out hard in the women's race, opening up a 10-minute lead on the favourite Courtney de Walter. As night fell, Capel continued to forge on solo. The Spaniard looking to become the first non-French runner to win the UTMB since his illustrious compatriot Kilian Jornet in 2011. Tevenar, of course, had other ideas. Yao Yao also dreaming of a maiden UTMB victory for China. Mimi Kotka slipping behind Yao and De Walter, while Casey Lichtenstein, just ahead in the white and blue, had to abandon after a nasty fall. Even the most experienced runners have to take extra care when racing through the night. Capel and Tevenar still leading in Courmayeur, with Robert Haynal up into third place. The elite runners covering the first half of the course at an incredible average speed of around 10 kilometres an hour. But there is more to the UTMB than just the top guns. For many of the 2,500 participants, it's the adventure of a lifetime, not to mention a celebration of these stunning alpine trails. There was simply no stopping Pau Capel in the elite men's race, disbanded with a comfortable lead heading on to the final climb. Tevenar, the little prince, would have to settle for second place. Capel arriving back in Chamonix to a hero's welcome. The Catalan conquering the UTMB in a new course record of 20 hours, 19 minutes and 7 seconds. For me, it was a perfect race in sporting terms. I was alone at the front from the start, and I was able to maintain my advantage, make it back here to the finish line and win.
Our female champion, here she goes!
While Courtney De Walter ended up winning the women's race by almost an hour.
United States of America!
Our next journey is to China and the breathtaking Gaoligong Mountains, part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site that stretches across the border with Myanmar. In 2018, Gaoligong by UTMB was the first international event to be added to the UTMB family.
Please believe in yourself. You can fly. You can touch the sky! Today, you're the heroes!
Nearly 2,000 runners from 25 countries came along for this inaugural edition, discovering the gorgeous landscapes of the Yunnan Highlands. There was also a traditional welcome from the locals.
我们840名英雄，800勇士。 已经做好了准备，互相相信，饮水寒，勇士一世。
Gaodagong by UTMB gives elite runners from China a chance to measure themselves against their rivals from further afield with 3 distinct races. The Tea and Horse Trail, 55 kilometres, the Road of Chinese Expeditionary Force at 125 kilometres, and the main event, the Mount Gaodagong Ultra, 160 kilometres. It's a golden opportunity for China to share these magnificent but little-known trails with the rest of the world.
好满的运动员 The runner goes to place for this race.
Victory in the main race went to Lithuania's Gediminas Grinius, winner of the Ultra Trail World Tour in 2016. Though favourite Chi Min retired for medical reasons, it was still a memorable day for China, with Luo Kanhua and Qin Yanchong coming second and third. The final UTMB label event takes us to yet another continent, and in fact, to the end of the world. Here on the southernmost tip of South America is the remarkable city of Ushuaia, one of the wildest and most wonderful places on earth. Ushuaia may be the capital of Argentina's Land of Fire province, but it was bitterly cold at the start line as runners from 28 countries set off on what is known as the race at the end of the world. And then came the snow. As if it wasn't hard enough to cover 130 kilometres with 7,000 metres of elevation gain, the athletes also had to contend with the extreme weather conditions. The various aid stations giving men's leader Jason Schlav and the rest of the field a much needed chance to warm up. The snow continuing to fall and the cold continuing to bite, transforming Ushuaia by UTMB into a battle against the elements and against one's own limits.
wildest weather ultra I've ever done, a race ever. It was like skiing on top above 600 meters. Fun, adventure, is what I signed up for.
By morning, the snow had melted, leaving the runners to slog through the mud. But resilience is a hallmark of ultra-trail runners, especially when it comes to UTMB events. Success is often a question of both mental and physical strength. Schlab still leading the men's race and on course for another victory after sharing the spoils with Diego Passos in Oman. Schlab coming home in 15 hours and 26 minutes, winning a race that will live long in the memory.
Jesus love. You will see the finish line. Medal from this goal.
UTMB Mont Blanc has a magic, but these trails have a challenge that doesn't compare. This is above and beyond anything. So more than Mont Blanc, even Grand Raid, Diagonal de Fou, sky racing, this is the one.
Second place, meanwhile, went to local athlete Santos Gabriel Rueda. It doesn't matter which race and it doesn't matter which country. The feeling of crossing that finish line is simply indescribable. And it's the emotions of these incredible achievements that make the UTMB truly international.